Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rener is now at the center of a political firestorm that threatens both her career and the public's faith in British democracy. Accusations have emerged that she delayed local elections across 9 major councils in a bid to suppress the rising popularity of Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage. Critics from across the political spectrum have condemned Rener's decision to postpone the elections until May 2026, while she maintains the delays were necessary for a planned restructuring from a 2-tier to a unitary local government system. Opponents argue it was a calculated attempt to prevent Reform UK from gaining ground, particularly in key regions like Essex and Thurrock. Over 5 million voters in counties including Norfolk, Suffolk, and Hampshire have been affected by the postponement. Rener defended her actions in a tense parliamentary session and subsequent court appearance, describing them as fiscally responsible and essential to avoid wasting millions on councils soon to be dissolved. However, her emotional appeal did little to calm the backlash. Nigel Farage swiftly condemned the move as a cowardly assault on democracy, suggesting the government feared Reform UK's surging support. Political analyst Lord Haywood pointed out that Thurrock, historically a UKIP stronghold, was Reform UK's most promising battleground and could have delivered the party its first council victory. The backlash hasn't been limited to opposition figures. Conservative Shadow Housing Minister Kevin Hollandra accused Rener of disguising a power grab as a local governance reform, warning it would increase centralization and serve a socialist agenda without a public mandate. Meanwhile, legal challenges are mounting. Reform UK has initiated court proceedings, claiming Rener violated democratic norms. Early courtroom accounts describe Rener breaking down under pressure, reinforcing the emotional and political toll of the crisis. Legal experts warn this case could set a dangerous precedent for executive overreach in electoral matters. The scandal coincides with a dramatic shift in public opinion. A new survey of nearly 2,500 adults shows Reform UK climbing to 29%, its highest rating yet, overtaking both Labour, 25%, and the Conservatives, 18%. Reform UK Chairman Zia Isasef hailed the numbers as a sign of an impending political transformation, suggesting voters are fed up with the old establishment. Farage attributes the surge not just to immigration concerns, but to broader public disillusionment with failing infrastructure and overwhelmed public services. Britain's population has grown by 10 million in 2 decades, he argues, putting unbearable pressure on housing, healthcare, and community cohesion. As Rener's crisis deepens, another controversy is erupting, this time over the government's failure to deliver the long-promised Hillsborough Law. The proposed legislation, intended to prevent future state cover-ups like those surrounding the 1989 football disaster, has reportedly been diluted behind closed doors. Ellen Abrahamson, a human rights lawyer and key figure in drafting the original bill, publicly accused the government of betraying the families who have waited 36 years for justice, so she denounced the revised draft as toothless and compared it to promising a Ferrari and handing over a battered unicycle. Grief-stricken communities from the Hillsborough disaster are now joined by others affected by tragedies like the Grenfell fire and contaminated blood scandal. A national movement is forming, demanding government accountability and transparency, not empty platitudes or vague legislative delays. Adding insult to injury, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer cancelled a planned meeting with Hillsborough families just weeks before the anniversary of the tragedy. Officially, scheduling conflicts were blamed, but critics believe the government was trying to avoid scrutiny as news of the weakened legislation leaked. Starmer's silence has sparked fury. Abrahamson warned that this betrayal would not go unnoticed or unchallenged. This is not just about Hillsborough, he said. It's about whether we can trust those in power to act with integrity. The government insists it needs more time, but many see this as a tactic to delay uncomfortable accountability. After years of solemn pledges and public sympathy, victims' families are demanding real action. Abrahamson's message is blunt: deliver what was promised, or face the consequences. While the government claims it needs more time, victims' families and campaigners view the delay as a stalling tactic. After years of solemn speeches and promises, they are now demanding concrete action. Abrahamson's message is clear: deliver what was promised, or face the consequences. Meanwhile, Labour's Angela Rener is fighting for her political life as public trust erodes and pressure mounts. Reform UK is gaining momentum, the Conservatives are in disarray, and Labour's grip on key voter blocs is slipping. Now, with Rener fighting for her political survival, the government's credibility under fire, and public anger boiling over, Britain may be heading toward a generational political reckoning. Support for Reform UK is growing, the Conservatives are in collapse, and Labour is losing trust among key voter blocs. The central question now is not just whether Angela Rener survives, but whether the political establishment as it stands can endure this gathering storm. Across the country, a coalition of the disillusioned is mobilizing, and the message to Westminster is growing louder. The era of broken promises may soon be over.